Hello folks and welcome back to another video. It's me and I build stuff, and as you can see there is a giant stone platform behind me with a pixel art of a piece of redstone dust. Well, that's all because this is episode 1 of How to Do Redstone. And in this video we will go over the redstone basics. And then we will make a 2x2 piston door. A very simple 2x2 piston door. And if you have never done redstone before, in this video you will understand redstone in just minutes. And you will have built your first redstone creation. So let's go in first person and see what we got. So we are now in first person, and when we begin at the beginnings, you can see this block. This block is called the block of redstone. We call it the redstone block in Minecrafters. And this is a block made out of this stuff. This stuff is called redstone dust. Now the redstone block is a block and it gives out a redstone pulse. That means it will activate the redstone. So when redstone is activated, it will have this glowing red. It will look like this glowing red and give out particles. If you see a glowing red piece and you see particles, then this is a piece of redstone being activated. This is how deactivated redstone looks like. It's dark red with no particles. Now this is the pressure plate. This is a wooden one, and if we throw an item on the wooden one, it will give a redstone pulse until we grab the item. And you can stand on the wooden one as well, and it won't give a redstone, and it will give a redstone pulse. Now the stone pressure plate won't give a redstone pulse when items are dropped on it, but when a player stands on it, it will. You've got the heavy redstone plates like these, and heavy redstone pressure plates can give an output, a redstone output, when items are thrown on it. Only the heavy redstone plate will give directly an output when a player stands on it, but not the full strength. It will give a full strength output when items are thrown on it, enough items are thrown on it. So if we throw a lot of items on there, you can see it will be activated, but not a lot. So that means that a heavy pressure plate is very useful for mini games, like detecting how many resources someone has in the minigame. So the next thing is this piston. Now the door works with the sticky piston. There's this piston with the green stuff on it. The green stuff represents slime, and sticky pistons can push and pull blocks. So if we activate the sticky piston, and this is normal piston, it will only push the block and it can't pull it. So if we activate the pistons, you can see the blocks will be pushed, and the maximum amount of blocks you can push is 12, but the sticky piston can only pull back the block that's directly attached to the sticky piston. So you can push maximum of 12 blocks, and when we deactivate the pistons, you can see the sticky piston pulls the block back to itself, but the normal piston doesn't because it doesn't stick to the block. The next thing is an observer. Observers, as the name says, can observe and detect when there is something placed or removed from this side of his face. Now, players can't activate the observer, but they can only do that when there's a piece of string in front of this tiny little face of the observer, and then the player stands on it, and then the observer will detect that that string has moved because the player moves through the string, and then it will give a 1 tick pulse. A 1 tick pulse. 1 tick is 1/4 of a second. So if we put a block in front of the face of the observer, look closely to the piece of redstone dust in front of the observer, you can see it has been powered very short. Now if we remove the block from the face of the observer, it will give an output as well. And it's not randomized that when a block is pushed up in front of the observer may or may not give an output. No, the observer will always give an output. Rather, it's a block placed in front of the observer or removed from the observer. So when you do it with a piston, like this, you can see it gives a pulse 2 times. The next one is the redstone torch. Is this thing. This little fella. Now, the redstone torch is an activation device. It can be used to power the redstone, but the redstone torch can be deactivated as well. And that's simply done by giving a redstone pulse to the block where the redstone torch is on. Now, redstone torch, when running a piece of redstone dust into it, the redstone torch will power the redstone dust, but the redstone dust won't power the redstone torch, and the redstone torch won't be deactivated. Now, as you can see, the redstone torch is like a normal torch, but with some red pieces down there and surrounding the piece of torch. Now, if we activate this block, you can see the redstone torch is deactivated and it's just a piece of wood with some dark red stuff in it. It's the same dark red as normal redstone dust. If the redstone torch is activated, it will give out light with a radius of 7. The next thing is levers. Levers are toggleable redstone activation devices, and they're pretty simple. They're levers, nothing else. They can activate redstone. They can activate and give a redstone pulse through a block. So if we remove these, you can see this redstone dust will be powered. So let's place this back. The next thing is something redstone can't do, and that is redstone can't power his mate through a block. So if we do this, boom, it won't power this one. So this redstone dust wants to power the block and things like, yeah, my mate is on the other side of the block, and he seems sad. I want to give him energy. So let's power him. But this piece of redstone dust does not recognize that. So yeah, when you put redstone dust over a block, then this side will be activated. But and redstone can't go higher than 1 block up. So if we want to place a block down like that, then you can see it won't power anything. But redstone can give a pulse to his other mate, and that's the repeater. The repeater will detect that this piece of redstone dust wants to power it through the block. as you can see. And the repeater can do the same as that piece of redstone does. It can power this block, and when the repeater powers a block, then this redstone dust will recognize it, because the repeater is strong enough. Like that. The next one is, of course, the redstone torch. The redstone torch can be activated with a repeater and deactivated with a repeater. But I didn't come here for the redstone torch. I came here for the timings, because Minecraft has other timings than real life, because in real life we've got seconds, hundreds of seconds, microseconds, minutes, hours, and that sort of stuff. But Minecraft has ticks, and you've got two types of ticks. You got the redstone ticks, from repeaters and stuff, and you got the player ticks. Now 20 player ticks are equal to 1 real life second, but 10 redstone ticks are equal to 1 real life second. So half of the amount of player ticks. How do I say that? Yeah, redstone ticks are the half of a player tick. So if you got 1 player tick, then you got a half redstone tick. If you got 2 player ticks, then you have got 1 redstone tick, and so on and so forth. So I've got this repeater over here, and if we put it on 1 tick, 1 redstone tick is 2 player ticks. And it looks like the redstone torch is instantly off, but it actually isn't. And if we put it on 4 redstone ticks, you got 8 player ticks. Now if we grab a lever and put it down, now we've got 1 second. Oh wait, we've got 1 second now. It's 4, 6. Wait. Oh man, we do not have 1 second. Is 4 player ticks. 4 redstone ticks is 8 player ticks. Alright, this is 8 redstone ticks. 9, 10. 10 redstone ticks. Now, if we flick the lever, that's exactly 1 second. So if we do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 2 ticks, 2 ticks, 2 ticks, 4 ticks. And this is again exactly 1 second. Now if we do it like this, we've got 8 plus 8 is 16 is, let's do some math. You got 1 second is 1.6 seconds. That was 1.6 seconds. So these, oh wait, we need to leave and boop 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 boop. These are the redstone ticks, and you got the player ticks, as I already said. So 2 player ticks is equal to 1 redstone tick. And the more ticks you've got on your repeater, the longer the pulse takes. So if we do this, you can see it's not a 1 tick pulse, it's a 2 tick pulse. So I need to tell you one thing about redstone, and this is really rule 1 of redstone. It's like the basics of the basics of redstone. When redstone is powered fully, so it has a power source that gives a full redstone output. Redstone can't reach further than 15 blocks. So this is one block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then this piston is 15, and this is 16. And as you can see, this piston won't be powered because a redstone can't reach to the 16th or further. Maximum is 15. I'm sorry. So let's begin with the tutorial about this redstone door. As you can see, here is redstone door seeing above ground when it's in its default height, and that is only the pistons will be above ground and the pressure plates, you can see, is fairly simple. If you do not cover these pistons up, you will only see a block with redstone dust and then 2 pistons being powered with the block of choice for your door. Now you can stand on any pressure plate and the door will open. Now I cloned this piston door and put it above ground fully, so you can see the redstone that's underground, that's normally underground. So it's, well, this is the redstone. Look at it. I'm gonna make a tutorial in this video about how to build it. So this is redstone underground, and this above ground. So let's begin with the tutorial. So how we begin is we put a line, and I've indicated each side with one color of wool. So we begin with when we look at this, we begin with the left side. So you begin with a row of 3 blocks. Put some redstone dust on all the 3 blocks. Then make like this T shape. Put redstone dust over here. Put another block with a repeater facing that way, facing outwards of the pieces of redstone dust. So in this case, facing that way. Then place a block in front of the repeater so the repeater can power it, and place a redstone torch on it. So when this piece of dust is activated, or any piece of dust is activated, you can see that redstone torch will be deactivated. Now place a block on top of that redstone torch with a piece of redstone dust on top. Then place a piston with a piston on top of that. And now both pistons will be powered because this redstone torch is powering this block, and because this block is being powered, this piston is being powered, and this piece of redstone dust is being powered, and this piece of redstone dust powers this piston again. This door will work in every version of Minecraft. Now place your block of choice in front of your door, or in front of the pistons. You need to use sticky pistons or else this won't work. Now this is a 1x2 door. This is the half of what we want to make. Like that. So, if we want to make the other side, we just need to copy and mirror this to the other side. So let's do this. 3 blocks, redstone dust, 2 blocks out, redstone dust, repeater facing that way, with a block in front. Redstone torch on it, a block on top of that, with redstone dust on top of that, placing 2 pistons, and placing your pieces of glass, and then place your floor in with your pressure plate of choice. I recommend, of course, the normal pressure plate or the light pressure plate, but not the heavy, because the heavy won't give enough power to the redstone to power the door. So that is it, guys. That's your piston door. Now cover these sides up and you've got a glass piston door. Of course, you can use stone for it, or any other block that is pushable with pistons and that can be rejected with pistons. So, that was the tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click that like button and until it's blue. And subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload the second episode of How to Do Redstone. So, yeah, that was a tutorial. If you have never done redstone before, this was your first redstone build. It's working very well. You can build this in any version of Minecraft. It will work in any version of Minecraft, and you have learned the redstone basics. Thanks for watching. Please put in the comments what kind of redstone circuit you want to build. In the next episode, we will build a redstone circuit that's just slightly more difficult than this one, and we will build it up until you're a redstone pro. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. In 3, 2, 1, bye.